favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock.
All right. How's it going? Hold on a second. Let me get this moved around. Okay. So I was like, maybe I should wait till this weekend to cover this, but no, why not? I said I was gonna wait till this happened. So the day has come. I said this in my Yield Max review videos. I said I will, or I've talked to people in communities about this, I guess, because there's been all these clowns pushing Yield Max, and people like, should you respond to this one or that one? How about this guy? I'm like, no, no, no. I will wait. I will wait for my moment. My moment will be when TSLY does a reverse stock split. Okay. I thought they were going to wait until it went to penny stock territory. So I was thinking everyone thought this. They were going to let it go into penny stock $5 territory, and then they were going to do this. So apparently they wanted to get ahead of the game because it's like $8. But don't you worry, people. It's going to penny stock status regardless of how many times you reverse stock split this. This is going to be a penny stock. Okay. I've said this. I did a 4-part video series. I got a good amount of hate about this. Some of the comments I couldn't post because they swear. I can't post comments if you're swearing. All right. Like either I can't or YouTube, and it affects like the monetization. So, but I would have loved to keep some of them. It's a shame. So here we are today. We are here. So this was, I don't even remember what this, I think when I did my initial reviews of TSLY, I believe it was somewhere in the $15, $16, maybe $17 range per share. And I basically told everyone this will deteriorate over time. Just giving you, I have a 4-part series. Go look at it if you want. These funds, all the Yield Max funds, will deteriorate over time. Now, notice I said deteriorate. I didn't say they would always go down. So you need to understand that if you are watching this and you like Yield Max. I didn't say it would always perpetually go down. I said it would deteriorate, okay? It can have brief times where they can do well. There are specific types of price movement of these individual stocks that they base Yield Max on that can benefit Yield Max. And the guy I reviewed in part 4, the pro notes guy, it's like, if the stock has to move in a like very defined price range for these strategies to work out that Yield Max is implemented. So there can be times briefly, like look what happened with Coney recently. The stock rocketed, and they had the right contract, so they did well for a brief time. Okay, briefly they can do well, but don't you worry, they will deteriorate. Just give them a long enough time. So here we are. Now, for people watching this, if you like Yield Max, I will tell you right now, this is unequivocally a terrible thing that happened to your ETF if you own this thing. I'm sorry if you bought this, but this is terrible. Don't let any one of these TSLY Yield Max channels tell you that this is no big deal, because you didn't lose anything. They cut, you get the reverse stock split, but the payments are the same, blah, blah, blah. This is really bad. Okay. This is bad. This is the sign of a dying ETF. This is what they do when the price gets down too low. They have to do reverse stock splits to get the price back up, because there's certain markets and like they can delist you if you don't have a certain share price, like NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. You have to maintain a certain volume and price per share. So this is bad for this to happen. Think of all the companies that have done reverse stock splits. Can you tell me one of them that was actually in good shape? Now, splitting is different. Splitting is a sign of a strong, growing company. This is the sign of a dying, deteriorating asset. Okay. So this is the first one, believe you. And this now accelerates your losses if you hold this, because now, you're reverse splitting this. So it's gonna accelerate this thing deteriorating the way reverse stock splits work. If they do another one, oh smoke, it's game over. It's not gonna do bankrupt. What's gonna happen to you? I mean, I can basically envision this is what's gonna happen to this fund. So this is probably a longer term because yield max funds are also new. This is what will come to you for people that are watching this. This is what will happen to all the yield max funds. This is it's not the same, but it's a derivative based investment product, right? So in that way, it doesn't hold any equities. So it's similar to yield max in that way. So it's not synthetic, but this is what will happen. So it never goes to zero. It's just this slow cut. It's just constantly getting cut in half, and you can cut things in half and half and half for many, many, many cycles, and it stays around. And this is what will happen to all the yield max funds, basically, like something like this. If the stock goes a certain way, it might even go. They could go to nothing, but you'll just keep. Now they've been doing reverse stock splits on this thing for a long time. Credit Suisse. So I remember a time when this was like $3 a share. And then they did like a 20-to-1 reverse split, got the price back to 100. Doesn't matter. It just keeps deteriorating. AMC, they did reverse splits. I think they did it with GameStop too. Again, it doesn't matter. Nothing was changed in the prospectus to fix the flaws of what YieldMax is doing. That's what you need to understand. The very foundation of yield max funds is flawed, completely flawed. Okay. And you want to fight me? Go ahead. I had people fight me when it's $16 a share. And now here we are at 8 and they're about to reverse split. And you're going to tell me it's no big deal, but you're a clown if you say that to me. And here we are. So I guess I'll just wait till it goes a penny stock again. And then they'll do like a 5-to-1 split because they have to keep propping this thing up. And they will do this to all their funds. Some of them will take longer to deteriorate because they are based on price movement of the individual stock. And also some of them are lower. They're not so volatile like Tesla. So some of their yield max products might stretch out longer. And I think they have like a Exxon Mobil one, which is freaking weird, honestly. So, and they just keep spitting out new ones. Just like I said in my initial review, I basically said, you're going to have to jump from yield max to yield max as they deteriorate. And they'll keep spitting out new ones on individual stocks, and you'll have to keep bouncing. So after TSLY went crashing, they all switched to Coney. They ran up on Coney, and then Coney started to deteriorate. And plus, Coinbase isn't going to go up forever. So then they all panicked because they rode this to the top. And I saw some of them buying Coney. Literally, I saw some of these channels were buying Coney, which is the Coinbase version of YieldMax, at the top. So again, here we go. Retail investors, we're buying at the top and we panic sell when it goes red. And it doesn't matter if you're a dividend investor or growth investor, it's all the same type of mentality. So I saw people buying it up here, and now here we go, rocket down. And it's going to go on its way to deteriorate. And they've tried now. I think they went from TSLY. I saw some, and they go to Coney. Then I saw some of them go to FEPI. So they just keep jumping from covered call ETF to covered call, or so not all of them are covered. Some are covered. Covered call ETFs are different than what YieldMax is doing. Not necessarily a race to zero. Okay. They do have, in the end, YieldMax's underlying assets have no chance to appreciate because it's just treasuries, right? There's nothing to appreciate there. Whereas something that has a covered call based on like NASDAQ 1000, okay, like 20% contracts, but 80% NASDAQ. As long as NASDAQ still performs, it's not a race to zero. You're just going to underperform NASDAQ 100. It's all you're going to do. And I would question why you bought it in the first place, because you could have just bought QQQ and you could have sold some calls yourself, owning the asset. I think that'd be a much better way to generate income, or you could sell some shares. So all these covered call derivative strategy ETFs are just hot garbage. Some are more hot garbage than others. YieldMax is the king of trash investment, deteriorating assets. So here we are now. It just happened. I mean, it happened a little faster than I thought, actually. I thought maybe it'd be like 6 months to a year. But here we are. I mean, you're going to call this an income investment? I mean, it didn't last 6 months before they had to reverse split it because of the deteriorating NAV. The NAV deteriorates because they have a flawed investment strategy that will lose money over time. And that's the end of it. Given a long enough time horizon, they will lose money. And some months they'll win, but overall, just the weight of the math will show that TSLY, YieldMax, whatever ones they put out, they won't make it. And you're going to be the loser for it. And a lot of the channels, the typical TSLY investor on YouTube, I can show you some channels. They will tell you they are $30,000-$40,000 red on TSLY, and then they've only received like 15,000 dividends, or they're 20,000 red and they've got 12,000 payment. You get the idea. They're always, every time I see their when they actually show their investment, the price movement of TSLY is down like say 20-30%. They've only recouped maybe half of that in actual distributions. So again, you're losing money. All right. So these people think that they're killing it because you put 100 grand into a yield max fund, you're going to get 50-60 grand a year in distributions. And you're like, well, I make 50 grand at my shitty job, so now I can retire, fire. But the truth is, it won't last long. You didn't retire, you just took a pause from working, because all these funds have the same flaw, and eventually they will fall enough, and hopefully you realize they're garbage before you've lost too much money. But eventually they'll all go the same direction. So here we are. And it's just funny because there's whole channels, or there's like a Reddit community. There's a bunch of not huge YouTubers, like smaller ones, but they're out there still. So they're all panicky. They put the news out, and then they all want to fight about if this is or isn't a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. It is a problem, and you should be concerned. Just because you didn't technically lose anything, shares wise, you didn't lose anything. You didn't lose anything with the distributions, but this is really bad, nonetheless. So, and they all want to blame Jay. I mean, is it really Jay's fault? I mean, he constructed this prospectus and these rules that YieldMax has to apply. But his part in this, I mean, it's just a flawed investment product. But it's doing what was put in the prospectus. So they're not being deceptive. It's just, this is what it was when you bought it. And the truth of the matter is, for people that bought this, you didn't know what you're buying. Because if you did know you're buying, you wouldn't have bought this if you understood what YieldMax or fund tells me. You didn't know what you're doing. So I'm sorry. I'm sure you've lost. Don't tell them. And they always tell you they made money on it. And that's not true. They didn't make money on this. So it's just a bummer. And the good news is it's not like huge YouTubers that are pushing this. So yeah, see, these people are so like, because they all thought it would be like at $5 reverse split, which is funny that they even accepted that it's $8, and they all accepted it was perfectly natural for it to deteriorate to $5 and reverse split, and they were all okay with owning a product. Again, this kills me. They were knowingly buying something that they knew was deteriorating. Like, what are we doing in investing? Are we buying things that go down or up? Like, what are we doing? You're buying a product, and your excuse is that you understand why it's deteriorating. I'm like, that's not good. Like, that's not good at all. Why did you buy this? You shouldn't have bought this ever in your life. And I'm sorry that you went to a place in your life where you bought this. I don't know. Maybe you thought you needed that extra income. I mean, you're going to have some extra income, but it's going to be short term, and you're going to pay a massive amount of taxes on this. If you bought this in your Roth, you've made a terrible mistake. And you made even worse mistake than the people that bought it in their regular brokerages, because now you can't get that money back. That's why I really like, now it's like you should buy like boring index investments in your Roth, because you can never get that money back if you screw up. You get the 6,500 or 7,000 per year, and that's it. And if you make terrible investment decisions, you don't get to put that money back in and restart. So to do something like this it's insanely risky, and just crazy. Like, there's no upside to YieldMax. It's just all downhill. So what else? Anybody got any good comments? So, not gonna lie, if those YieldMax bros just bought, they'd be way better off. Way better off. Yeah. I mean, O is not going to perform. I seriously doubt O will perform like the market. But, if you really wanted monthly income for like your life, so maybe you're putting some into your retirement, but you also want some for your normal life. Maybe you make a lot of money in your career and you're just trying to put it somewhere. I mean, okay, cool. I have Agri in my Roth. So, I mean, but it's a real investment that generates like real cash flows, right? It's a real business. It's nothing synthetic. These are real returns. They collect rent. It's a real investment and a real product. It's not this fake synthetic crap that Yield Max is. And it'll be around unless something crazy happens. Realty income is going to be here in 30 years when you retire, unless some crazy unforeseen thing happens. I mean, they just collect rent from 7-Elevens and Home Depots. I ordered some Trump hats last night. They could have just bought Petrobras. I don't know what that is. It must be an oil company. If Paul shorted TSLY, yeah, leverage products on a derivative product. Oh my god, TSLY is down to 57%. Yeah, the payments are down. I mean, what are the payments down? The guy interviewed from Prop Notes, we brought up, it's just like as the NAV deteriorates, they don't have enough capital. So the capital is shrinking to actually apply their strategy to buy these derivatives or these options. So it means less premium. So it just it would go down if people just read and understood. If you'd read the prospectus and you understood a little bit about finance, you would have understood what was going to happen before. Like I didn't have to see it happen. I just knew this was the way it was going to go. But yeah, so we started at. I'll zoom in. And I said it's going to everything deteriorate. I'm using that word specifically. I'm not saying it's going down all the time. I'm saying deteriorating asset. So if you have someone that's bought this, make them understand that point, because they might see it go up and they'll say you're an idiot and you're wrong because it went up and you said it was going down. I'm like, no, it's not. I said the asset's deteriorating. The actual value of the NAV, which is the actual cash, value of this asset, is going down pretty much perpetually, except for brief periods. But the first payment they ever paid was 99 cents in that first month. And you can just look, on trend, it's shrunk almost every month. They had a brief period where it did okay. So his strategy worked in this one. But then again, here we go. We're right on track. And now we're down to 40 cents. So for people that thought this was some product you could live on for fire, within 14 months, we went from $1 a month in distributions to 40 cents. So this is the travesty of what they've done. You've destroyed capital. Basically, you bought a deteriorating asset and it destroyed you. You're probably down 30, 40, 50%, whoever bought this. That's the way they're all going to go. So sorry. And if you want to be mad at me, go right ahead. But I didn't lie to you. I tried to tell you the truth. And if you're hurt, I tried to stop you from buying this, and it's not too late to get out of it. There's better ways to invest, and you could be a dividend investor. This isn't dividend investing. This is not dividend investing. This is some other fire high dividend fakery that has taken hold of people. I don't know, maybe vulnerable people that have crappy situations. They need money right now, or they hate their job and they think this is like a way out, but it's not. And they preyed on that when they created these things. In my opinion, the people that made these things. So here we are. So when I did, where was part 4? Hold on, or part 3. So when I did part 3, this will be the fun part. Okay. So I did this video. I covered some YouTubers that were talking about TSLY. Okay. So this guy, Rob Stuff, I said he was basically an eBay channel, because I like, okay, who are these finance people sometimes? Like I'm a government auditor. Never had anything online before this, just like investing. So I'm like, okay, briefly, I didn't bully anyone. I'm just like, okay, you're talking about financial, you're investing or finances, what's your background to some degree? So this Rob Stuff guy, he commented like an hour after this video got released. So someone must have told him that he knew, and he wanted me to come on his channel. He was all friendly. And I said, let me finish my series and then I will come on your channel later. but he never invited me. So where's my response? Is it let me find it. Mhm, mhm. No, it's not this one. Wait, is it? No, it's the one before it. No, it's not this one. Hold on. No, it's the one before it. So I commented because I told him, I'm like, "You're gonna sell it. You're gonna sell it for something else. It's just a matter of time." And then he puts a video after he went at me, back and forth behind the scenes. I was just talking to him, telling him that it's a bad investment. You should really listen to me. And he wanted to fight me on it. He called me an asshole and just all sorts of names. Yeah. Um, so here's people talking about he sold it. And then dang, where did he delete it? He must have deleted it. I bet he did. I bet he deleted it. Wow, he's really petty. Wow. Yeah, I think he did. Let me see. This guy, he probably did too. Oh my god. Okay, that's a shame. He deleted, he deleted my comment. Oh, no, here it is. Here it is. Okay, found it. Now, I'm blocked, so you can't see this because I'm blocked. But it still exists. If you block somebody or you hide them, the comments still stay. So this basically, I basically told him because we had gone back and forth, and I tried to educate him on why Yield Max was terrible, and I was kind of like, what, you don't have any financial background. I don't think you understand what you're talking about. I really think you should stop this. So I was trying to like help him. Like, you should not be posting about Yield Max TSLY online. Like, you don't understand what you're doing. He would, fuck you. I know what I'm talking about. I'm an eBay seller. So I wrote back to him, and I wrote, hey, why don't you talk about stuff that's more useful to viewers instead of this Yield Max deteriorating ETFs? Remember, I told you TSLY would deteriorate, which I did. And he commented he wanted me to interview. He's like, why do you have to be such an arrogant narcissist? I didn't realize it was being a narcissist. I was trying to help this man, and I don't think you should be posting Yield Max content if you don't understand. And if you did understand what it was, you wouldn't have ever bought it. So I would love to actually research the video series you did and keep all the opinion and cut out the pro- probable lies, whatever he said. You left me nothing. He said he was going to watch my series, and then I was going to come on his channel and talk about Yield Max, which so apparently he never bothered to understand what my points were. So apparently I was a clown and I don't know what I'm talking about, but he never actually watched the content I created talking about why these are bad investments. You did no research. I did no research. Rob, I did lots of research. Rob, I know you're going to watch this. I did lots of research. Okay. You didn't know anything about this product. The only thing you would do is spout what people told you. You put nothing online about the risks of buying something like TSLY. So you are far too arrogant to ever do some actual research and learn anything. Oh, that's cool, Rob. Hey, Rob, what is it? It was like 17. Now it's like $8 a share. So who was right? Who called it was going to deteriorate, Rob? Good luck to you. I've completely blocked you. Oh, okay. Very nice. So there was Rob. And again, I will say this for posterity. He's not doing videos anymore. Shocker. He was so excited to go from being an eBay seller. So this is who people, he's an eBay, he like sells shit on eBay. And then all of a sudden he wants to be an investing channel because he bought some AMC shares and he bought some AMC in the clown market. So he was so ready to pop off these Yield Max videos, day after day for the months, trying to get to 5,000. Then he sells TSLY, and I let him have it when he sold it. And, here we are. So here was another gone, right? These people that push investments on retail and then they disappear when they go bad. And here it is. Here's one. There's this guy, leveraged. I think his name's Leverage Finance. No. Dang, what's his name? Give me a second. I think it was, let me pull it. There's one in particular that needs to be addressed at the end. And I know he's gonna find out about this, which will be interesting. Dang, what's his name? Leveraged? I think it was. No. Retire on dividends. So this was one I covered. So this guy was big on it. Uh, so he's got the horror face. It's like doom and gloom. So I don't think he sold out of all of it, but here's this channel. Comments were not too happy. This does not bode well for yield max. There's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of confidence in management lost here. Like, this is not even management. This is just you didn't understand what the prospectus was telling you they were going to do, and it was going to end this way the whole time. I guess you could argue that they should have waited till it became a $5 stock instead of doing this at $8. But here we are. It'll probably be a penny stock. Don't you worry at some point. So you are right. There are so many negative opinions on reverse splits. Oh, it's not opinions. Companies that do reverse splits, whatever your name is, do pretty badly, especially that are derivative instruments. Reverse splits are really bad. So doesn't change any material. Here we go. Here's the coping. I knew this would come. It doesn't change any material value. That's correct. Like, you didn't lose. The reverse split itself did not take anything from you, share price or the payment, but the pain will keep coming because it's a flawed product in the first place. What are your thoughts on a second reverse split? As if the first one wouldn't concern you enough. No, you're okay with it happening again because you can't handle the fact that you were wrong buying this in the first place. Ooh, oh, I know this guy. Okay. But just like, here we are. This guy pushed him too. Entrepreneur investor. I think I talked about him. Tesla reverse split. Ooh, breaking news. So look at all the TSLY videos. Look at all the TSLY videos. Like, here's where you're listening to. I mean, and they'll probably just disappear at some point. They'll either rebrand, or when TSLY goes to like penny stock and they can't get out of that and it becomes like 70 cents a share, they'll either rebrand their channel or just delete it and move on with their lives. But you won't, because you'll have lost 30, 40, 50, 60% of your money. And you thought you could retire on this. So here we are. So it's like, oh no. Oh, Berkshire Hathaway should like legit. Berkshire Hathaway should be like, Roo. SoFi having a higher multiple probably. Oh, SoFi. Ooh, should I do another live stream about a certain person in SoFi? I don't know if I want to do it in the same video. So, okay, hold on. A fool and his money are easily parted. Yield max, probably. Yep. I mean, that's just like these products have never existed before. These are brand new products. These synthetic things that they've created. I've never seen these in 20 years. And why can they do these now? Is this kind of the advent of Robinhood, and you have your phone and free, you can trade options all day. Is just this is something you have to deal with, that these products exist now because they can exist. And they make great money, but not for you, for the people running them. The people running these things make great money, but you don't, and you never will. So anyways, Rob stuff. If you comment on this, like seriously, if you want to call me a clown still, and he claimed that he made money on TSLY, even though every chart possibly you look at, it's just gone nothing but down. But he told me when I was side chatting with him that he made money on it. Then he said he bought Coney and made money on that too, even though all of them, it's like perpetual down for the most part. So I guess he's the only genius that like perfectly timed everything. But and then he had to block me when I pointed out that I was right in our argument. He blocked me immediately. So Why is every investor taken for a fool? That is the $1,000,000 question, Neil. Why? Why why do retail investors fall for these things? And I don't know. I don't know. It's I mean, it's not understanding what you're investing in is kind of part of it. I've been saying before, like that was my critique of Jeppy and JepQ. Like you don't understand what you're buying. You really don't. But people were more than happy to buy it because it was Jamie Dimon was running JP Morgan and they could see the 10% yield. But you look at it, you don't really truly understand what these equity linked notes are. But so far it's done fine. So there's that point, and good for it. I hope it does well because that would it on the surface, that one looks like it's actually held up and prom and delivered. And if you need an income like in retirement, that could be maybe an option for somebody. But if you're like 20 years old, why are you buying Jeppy? Like, why are you buying it? I don't understand. Oh, I really wish I could remember this chant. I think it was leveraged. Okay. So, anyways, there's this guy, and I guarantee you he does live streams like every 2 days. So this is like the biggest guy on this, and he's still going. So he has wrapped himself around this as a brand. Now, I didn't cover him. I don't think I knew who he was the first series I did of videos. Um, but I've seen people posted it, and he does live streams, and I've talked to people in them a few times, gave him a little hell. So he's probably going to see that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he does. But for the record, like, he's a military veteran. So you know, respect. I'm an Army vet. I think you've made. I think your name is Kemers, whatever. You made a terrible mistake buying yield max funds. That's all I want to tell you. I don't want to talk. I don't know what else you own. So maybe you have some other covered call ETFs are different. So I'd have to discuss them separately. But if you own these synthetic ETF products, you've made a terrible mistake. And you should reassess what you're doing because I know I've been for his live streams. He's down like 30 plus. I think he's down 33,000 on his TSLY hold or his total portfolio. He's down like $30,000. And he says he doesn't care, but nonetheless, I mean, I doubt you've gotten $33,000 of payments for that loss. So again, I would tell you the yield max ones. Maybe you have other stuff that you're more power to you, but the yield max products, you made a terrible mistake. And maybe I could come on and talk to you about this if you'd like, but you don't have to be a dick like Rob was. But I won't yell at you. Or, respect the military, the veteran thing. Some of the people seem like they're really desperate to be in the fire community that go on his channel and talk to him. Like they're so desperate to like not work and have retirement, which again, I've said why are you so desperate not to work? I just think it's people that never had a career. Like if you had a career, I don't think you'd think about retiring at 30 years old. People that have careers think about retiring later, but we've lived a fulfilled career. I'm really enjoy being a accountant after being a guy that, shoveled concrete for pools for like 5 years, for a few years. And I worked in a warehouse. So I went back to school to actually do something. I enjoy being a professional. Like I like going to work and sitting at a desk and drinking coffee after, slinging concrete. So maybe there's those people that never, instead of going to school, they thought they could just like get 100 grand and now they can retire. But you're wrong. And that's not the way. And I don't know what to tell them because I don't think like these fire people. I don't know why they've gotten to the point in their life where they drop probably their whole life. $100,000 is probably all they have into this thing. And it's just going to fall apart on them. You're going to lose 30, you're going to lose 50% maybe in a year or so on these yield max products. And this guy will tell you to keep buying and hold the line. And he's probably got a pension. So he has a backstop. This might be fun for him. But you don't have a pension. I have a pension. So I have a backstop at least in my life. Retired dividend guys bag. If you want to get rich, avoid IRAs and avoid TSLY. I mean, you've seen my growth portfolio. So I'm not like my projected growth portfolio, which I was just kind of having fun with. But you know, to some degree though, I'm not joking. Like this is like a projected growth portfolio for me. Like 50% is like, okay, what's a high growth asset? You know, large tech or it's not just like NASDAQ 100. SCHG is also like, it's like the growth aspects of the like the upper tier of the US, or SSO, which is a 2x leverage. I think either one. This the international exposure, which from my research, emerging market value, small cap value could reduce, could perform really well if we're going for growth here. So this is the one I picked. You could pick others. And then I threw in a cybersecurity and a semi for like, the future of AI, crypto. And then I left still like a 15% piece for individual stock picking, because you could do really well with individual stock picking in your core competency. So that was kind of joking, but here it is. So anyways, here it is. What else? So like I again, like this is how it was going to deteriorate the whole time. So we go to November, perfect scenario. This is the easiest way to explain how this was going to fail. Look at in November, Tesla ripped, right? Here Tesla's the orange one. It ripped up. Did a great, it freaking went crazy last November. But look what happened to Tesla. Again, you cap your gains with these products. So it went up a little bit. So Tesla had this huge run, and then look at the drop right after it. The drop is almost the exact same drop on the chart. And given enough times this happens, we're at that point where it's at $8 and they're going to reverse stock split because the NAVs kept deteriorating. And that right there, that is why all yield max products will fail. Perfect example of this one run in November. Math is inevitable, people. It's just the way these things were designed. They're not great. So anyways, you want to get rich young. I think like, I mean, if yeah, growth implying like growth can have different meanings, but if you're saying you want better returns at a risk adjusted rate, yeah, you can do. I think if you can stand the volatility and you have a good job with income, I mean, yeah, you can do. I think there's more informed ways to try and do something like that, based on research and allocation. So I'm not opposed to growth. I think some people think they're going to be growth investors until volatility punches them in the face. And then if you sell out, then you failed. You should call out Wizards ETF also. He's a Tesla show. Okay. This guy. Oh, yeah. You showed me this guy. Oh, Lincoln. Do you remember the guy leveraged? His name was like leveraged something. It was like a 600 sub channel. He sold out of all of his Tesla. I can't remember his name now, but yeah, this guy. His channel's weird. He's not totally obsessed with it. He did other videos, but it's another just nothing channel. He also there's nothing specific about this channel. He pushes like all these high ETF investments, and there's no really value add to this type of content to give to you. So, all right, let's see. Channel is Leverage Flows. I think you're right. Yeah, this guy. So this guy sold out of it. So this was kind of funny because he sold out like 2 weeks ago. So maybe he saw the light. Maybe. I don't know. But so he sold out, and you could see from his content, again, all Tesla, all of it. This guy was like 100% Tesla. Just crazy. Like he was like a Robinhood portfolio. Like there's a lot of channel where he just updates portfolio on Robinhood, which tells me he probably didn't know really what he was doing. And then boom, yield max. And he starts doing nothing but yield max product videos. And look at him. He's smiling. He's got the video where he's got the dollar signs. He's making 3,000 a month in payments from Tesla. Yeah, I got 6,000 shares, rocket ships. And then look, boom. From 3 months ago, dollar signs to I sold it all, egg on my face. Like that's how fast these things turned on these people. He probably lost a lot of money. If you look at the time frame he bought this, he probably lost at least 30%. And he sounds like a young guy in the videos. And he sounded lost in this. Like, what is he gonna do next? I don't understand, like, why is this so hard? Like, why can't you do like a core satellite like I've shown? Like, why can't you just buy the indexes, learn actually how to invest? Because you don't know how to invest because you bought Yield Max. Tells me you don't know really what you're doing. You could have bought $10,000 of SPY and then maybe read some books on investing from Peter Lynch and then maybe dipped your toes in some small stuff. But you just jumped 6,000 shares into TSLY and got your cheeks clapped. So here we are today. Dismantled my portfolio. Why I sold TSLY. So there we are. And then people like, oh, you doing all right? Or what about the people that got their butts whooped following people like this? Um, oh, okay, wait. This guy. This dude is weird as hell because he calls himself coach. Okay. He calls himself coach, which who does that in investing? I don't understand. So here he is. Oh, look, he had two streams because he pushes all these high dividend investments, all of them. He pushes like the T-Rex ones, the Defiance ones, the Yield Max ones. So of course he's got to do damage control. Urgent. Look at that. Two fucking live streams he had to do today based on the reverse stock split. So um I mean, you're gonna tell me it's okay and you had like a freak out. You know what? I would love to debate you, Mr. THB Life Enrichment. You're the one I'd love to debate other than Rob. Rob would just probably be a prick to me. But you who seem to financially coach people to buy these products, like I would love to ask you what you know about Yield Max. I'd love to see if you actually understand what you're buying, which we all know what the answer is to that. But what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why are you putting people into these places where they're going to be losing money? Um, I don't understand. So there's the channels for you. Those are some of the bigger ones that I've. They're all small, but like those are the ones I've noticed with the TSLY. So you want to be mad? Well, I didn't. I didn't freaking put people in these freaking investments. So you did, and that's this video. Meet Kevin is scamming people with house hack warrants. What? What's a house hack warrant? Oh, like for the. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it on his main channel? Did he make a video? No. I'm not in his Discord. I think he blocked me. I don't know. But is he talking about like a warrant for buying more shares? Like SPACs do that, where you could buy like a share, and then there was another ticker where it was like a share with a half share warrant on it or something. I don't know. Are you talking about that? Um, wait. Did I cover this guy? No, not this guy. He did push it. I know he did. This dude is like a next level weirdo. Like he's not even. I don't even want to get into him at this point. But that's he might be a whole nother video. That guy, because like what he's doing, it just could blow up in your face at some point with all the margin he took on. Well, I'm not sure. Please look into it. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's like you're never going to get your money back. The house hack people that put money in it, you're never going to get your money back from house hack. So, and he doesn't have to give you your money back. It was in the filings. So you got what you paid for. It was in the filings if you gave him money for house hack. So, I mean, sorry if you didn't read that. If you gave Kevin your money, but you ain't getting it back. Someone who said, oh, just kidding. Selling one stock is expanding my portfolio. I think I saw you. Yeah, one stock and you sell it, and then that's the end of your investment process. Like of all the stocks in the world, this one shitty ETF. So, and now they want to. Some of them were like, you know what? We'll just buy the one that has all of them in it. So, like, they created the was the YMAX one. Yeah. Y max. These people are geniuses with these things. Like they're on these ETF guys are like the ultimate salesmen. Like they stay on the trends of what retail investors are buying. So they know what you want to buy before you even know. So there's this thing. So they created an ETF that's a collection of all the other trash yield max ETFs to further complicate it and to further make you confused so you don't understand what you're actually buying. Because that's what they want to do. They want to show a high dividend, and they don't want you to understand what they're actually doing with your money. They want to make it as complicated as they can. Because if you understood it, you would realize what trash it is. And again, like they have an investment product that's the Magnificent Seven. So ETF companies are they're salesmen first and then investors. So they get you to buy it. They do the marketing. Oh my god. The Magnificent Seven Yield Max Fund. So there. Enjoy that. Should I do maybe I'll do okay, I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna come back. Give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna go over a certain SoFi person. So all right. So if you're in Yield Max, stay safe out there. If you want to ask me a question down, I'll answer your question if you have it. Don't be a jerk. But I mean, if you swear, it won't get posted in there. But you know, I mean, really, just sell it. I don't know what else I will tell you to do. You should get out of these Yield Max products. But thanks for watching. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. See you then.